Kanye West, or Ye, continues to face financial consequences for his repeated offensive and anti-Semitic comments, with a variety of companies, including Gap and Adidas, both cutting ties with him this week. And this controversy is playing out against the backdrop of West's well-documented mental health struggles and his bipolar diagnosis.
For more on how to view Kanye's behavior in light of those struggles, we're joined tonight by psychologist Dr. Bedford Palmer, who's the founder of Deeper Than Color and an associate professor at St. Mary's College in the East Bay. Great to have you on tonight, Professor. We appreciate the time. I know you want to make it clear, having a mental illness doesn't cause bigotry or anti-Semitism. How concerning is it to you to see a lot of people in some way sort of making excuses for Kanye's comments and his behavior?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. I think that it is hard to hear when people downplay his behavior or anyone's behavior and say that it's based on mental health issues, because what it does is it makes it so that it seems as though the mental health issue is the cause of the behavior, when in fact it can be affecting it. But bipolar disorder doesn't cause racism. It doesn't cause anti-Semitism. It doesn't cause anti-Blackness. It doesn't cause you to hang out with folks who believe in that stuff. What it does is, one, it makes life a lot harder for a person. It makes it so that you can't sleep. It makes it so that you feel like things are bigger than they are. It makes it so your mood fluctuates up and down over long periods of time, but it doesn't make you racist. And so when people put those two things together and conflate them, what it does is, one, it doesn't actually help Kanye or Ye, and two, it stigmatizes people who don't have all those resources, who are just trying to get through their day.
You know, prior to companies cutting ties with him, we saw him double down, even triple down on his comments in repeated interviews after the fact. So are you saying that at no point do you consider his mental health as a factor?
I mean, mental health is always a factor. You know, as a psychologist, a licensed psychologist, I can't diagnose him and say what's going on with him based on what we see in the media. I think the reality is that he's been functioning. You know, he's been doing the things that he's doing, making the money he's making the deals, and he's been very successful. To take one moment when he's being successful and another moment when he's being successful with a group of people that we don't find good people, right? Like, he's successful right now with making a bunch of noise, and he's successful right now with cozying up with white supremacists. But it's the same kind of behavior in terms of his ability to move in the world and make moves with finances and whatnot. I don't think it's a matter of making excuses, and I think that that's the big thing that we need to hear when we're talking about this. Mental health issues aren't a crutch. They're not an excuse. They're not like some way to get out of, it's not a get out of jail free card.
Right.
It's something that you're dealing with and you're having a hard time with. And it can get you into some trouble in terms of maybe impulse control reduction, right? But go ahead.
Professor, I was going to ask you before we wrap up here, how do you think all of us can sort of balance holding Kanye West accountable for his comments, for his actions, while also being understanding of his mental health struggles and his bipolar disorder diagnosis?
To be honest, I think we just hold him accountable. I think, one, we should have been holding him accountable from the beginning, because he's been making anti-Black statements, anti-Semitic statements. He's been doing bad stuff around sexism and the way he's been dealing with like family stuff for a very long time, and no one was pulling back from him. And so I think we have to own that first. I don't think that we need to really worry about Kanye West's mental health. I think that if we're going to spend time and energy on thinking about mental health, we should be thinking about the people who, again, don't have his resources and have to struggle with the stigma that he's creating around it. Yeah. I think that he's responsible for his words and his actions, and he's hurting people with them. That requires a response by the public.
All right, psychologist Bedford Palmer, we appreciate you joining us, taking some time out of your day. Associate professor at St. Mary's College, thanks so much for your insight.
Thank you.